So I have one of the worst mental health crises personally in the United States that it's just like, I'm like, every time I try to make an I statement about this in my head, I go, I just, it's like, it's a bunch of people just trying to say, see kid, now, go ahead, see kid, now, and it's just a bunch of people, jumping into the back of your cerebellum like Futurama and saying, don't worry about it, you can fuck me later, son, I'm just gonna wiggle my tentacle arm up and down your fucking brain and it's fine, it's you just masturbate with me, honey. And then if you're not gonna jack off with them, it's just people coming into you like they own the whole world, like everyone's in a dollhouse, like literally psychopaths and sociopaths are notorious for doing this. We're putting everyone in little dollhouses and rearranging things and making little sexual stories and making up things and pushing everyone around and putting like love triangles together. Like all Hollywood ever does is, if I approach the concept of Hollywood and offend someone through space-time, like subconsciously, or like I'm too pretty or something, they'll start to like move all of my energy where my dad was raping me and I like vehemently reject this fusion. They'll use that fusion against me to start making it look like I'm trying to fuck people in Hollywood through pedophiles who, if I look in the eye, will start just like playing the dollhouse. They all know each other, they all use the dark web. Like the original like people on the dark web and the internet were the pedophiles, like networking. Like my father is a pedophile and he rapes tons of kids. Like I need this to come out in one video, but every time I talk about pedophilia in a video, I'm just like endlessly fucking like squashed. But my dad rapes like just everybody, and he works for the government too, which is really fucking disturbing if you think about it. In Colorado, like every bit of the counties are named after like tribes that used to be here. So energetically, memory wise, all the people living here who say like I live in whatever county, they're actually fucking with the ancestors of all the Native Americans that lived here. And like the government that put all this in place is fully aware of that. Like this is MK Ultra America, and they knew, those people know why the symbol for like these counties is like basically the Redskins. It's really fucking disturbing how all the gift shops here will be like colors of the wind, and then our government looks like that. You see the birds are with me with that. It's fucked up. That's an actual like pace and sense of time. So if you start to understand like the world like I do, you'll see my neighborhood is filled with just scum who rapes like all the kids. Like I got ragged and raped like thousands of times as a kid. I'm not even joking. When I recovered from this in like 2016, I found the astral plane and fourth dimensional space-time travel, as like my dad like wrote a book about it and basically just said like, I'll go find it, but there was like bands that sing about rape and just kind of like everyone being here, like MGMT is like, don't worry about it, we're always here together. And they're so lost in fourth dimensional space time with these rooms, they've completely lost their fear of death at all. They don't even remotely understand what this country is. And they hear death. Dead. How many dead? Can you count? Because visually on my weed, I can actually visibly see the death on that roundup. All right, like next question. Anyway. Next question, like, where's this band? This band physically hates me and they raised me through space-time. I'm not even joking. So, welcome to the United States American government. This is my household. None of it's real, okay? If you want to talk about any of the voices that attack you through forces of time, you have to go to the doctor, and the doctor will tell you at the doctor's office, whoa. People don't like me talking about psych words on camera. Anyway, the doctor will tell you the voices aren't real, and that, you can talk to a priest about it in most of these. Now, I went to a psych ward that didn't have any sort of religion tied to it. They gave you, like, peace beads and stuff, and they did meditation and yoga, and that's really the best response to all this. But they also gave you, like, Deepak Chopra quotes, and they talk about, like, books. I don't know. That's really the best thing you could do, because everybody else is just kind of, like, forcibly, if I talk about the voices, glaring into me, what religion are you, honey? And if I'm, like, paranoid schizophrenic in the United States, it's instantly politics. Like, just being on benefits just turns into politics. So I'm going to just tell everybody, I'm going to die at some point. There's people who argue over my flesh on the dark web because I was born on the 13th, which is basically magic holiday, and I'm paranoid schizophrenic, like, legitimately. Here's some garbage my father wrote. Like, this is real just trash book. This is a really bad book. He's a terrible, terrible author. But he's a pedophile. You can pause that. Yeah, you do whatever you want. So again. So I got a good, like, 1/3 of my brain, and the rest is just people completely, fully acknowledge everything that I build up energetically, like static electricity, near me, because energetically, if you meditate, you are balancing, like, your soul up and down your whole body with the universe. So you're building karma through your thoughts, because you can actually touch other people, and you can, like, smile and say, don't kill yourself to someone, and build good karma. This is sharing the good vibe for any stoner ever. This is why Bob Marley was killed by the CIA. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because if you share the good vibe, this is why Terrence McKenna was killed by the CIA. He was a schizophrenic who got a little too smart like me. You'll just get killed because there's too many psychopaths and sociopaths physically who just think that they can keep buying the world, so they'll just keep buying it and then playing whack-a-mole wherever they see fit. So chloroform, for one, is legal on a federal level to own but not to sell here. So why? I don't know. Weed is the one thing to help you recover from a violent attack through space and time. That's actually there's people just fighting me with politics, like in my body. I'm not even joking. So I've had anorexia for years. Here it is. No one can describe anorexia. There it is. It's my moral compass. Something like that in America. I don't know. So the voices are real. You go to the ward. They're all threatening and terrifying you, and they're driving you completely insane. Like the neuroscientist from this state, Colorado, James Holmes, who was studying the brain just really, really intensely and probably scared the shit out of everyone astrally for having an incredibly high IQ. It's clearly a schizophrenic who lost his mind. They all turned him into a joke. Now, Article 13 is a religious spell against jokes. 13 is a concept, a number, and a synchronicity that people always look at and say, why did Jesus' 13th disciple betray him? It's literally just a synchronicity. It's literally, he just did, okay? That synchronicity has been tied to schizophrenia and just, the paranormal and, what if and, what's out there. And I say schizophrenia because schizophrenics are the seers of society. Talk about shamanism in Africa and schizophrenia, one Google search. And that people are, going to Africa to cure schizophrenia, while, white culture is just, eugenic society Nazis at this point. So everything in space and time, everything in your head, physically, near white people, is a debate and an argument, honestly. Ever since that Christmas tree was, chopped down religiously to be the dying nervous system in front of you, it's like a dying nervous system of God, because you train your brain with that. If you just religiously kill one in front of you every year, you're going to have this period of time that cycles through, cyclical motions of just space. I'm trying to make a new calendar, but I'm dying of anorexia, and I'm really trying to explain to everybody. No one understands how many pedophiles, here it is, this is what I'm trying to say. No one understands how many pedophiles in this country and anything Western medication has sunk its teeth into just rape the shit out of every single girl that goes to a slumber party ever. Slumber parties are where girls get ragged. That's period. Trey Parker, where the girls' bathroom, that's this is slumber parties. What are girls up to? Well, they're always going to go to a house where somebody's going to rag the shit out of them. I'm not kidding. That was my whole life growing up in America. Everyone, as a schizophrenic, I smoke weed, and my karma is constantly balanced with the universe with how much I have, and I'm rich as shit. I'm probably one of the richest schizophrenics of all time, so I've got one of the most fun brains of all time if I can survive the fear or just physically survive the people trying to kill me, because it's a little bit magical. And if I stop crying about having a memento life and just kind of wake up every morning wait, I'm 24 and I don't know what that means, but I can still drive my stick. I can still remember how to drive sticks, so I can just go to the weed store and buy my benefit. Who knows? I'm gonna go talk to Scarab Beetles some more, because all I can do is tell time. I'm literally physically built to be your dream compass. That's schizophrenia. And then we'll look at Moana, and I honestly don't want to look at Moana or talk about Moana whatsoever, but we can talk about Inside Out and how Disney is telling you to kill not kill, but your imaginary friend just dies at some point. Don't worry about it. Accept the vampires and the boy bands into your soul. Thank you, Disney. And then always have in the back of your mind the concept of some boy that will just endlessly die for you, that you're fucking. These are all very healthy mentally. That movie won a lot of awards, and I went on a rampage on Twitter at one point to Disney, just sheerly out of all the people who attacked me who thought they could play God through IQ. There's people who write theater basically, and they're they're just sitting here with Mozart whistles, and they're saying, oh society, oh my pedophile line on Disney, oh. And that's me sarcastically doing it, and just sarcasm at the end of the day is going to be your heartbeat met with karma and met with will to survive. And I have to tell you what, my heartbeat goes will to live. That's my desire to be. I'm gonna lie, as a schizophrenic, this is all horrifying, and I'm incredibly smart, and I can help a lot of the world out of this, but physically getting to the way to save the world, quote unquote, I run into Joji and other countries that I have to actually energetically solve, all the demons just piling down on Japan. This is why Japan's dead, for the record. Your daddy raped you, respect your elders. That's Japan. Everyone's dead. People just wander off into suicide forwards their whole life. There they go. That's it. And the women are just horribly suppressed, and they make no money, and just your whole energy is just straight downward force of an Egyptian rapist downward, because he's gonna be a psychopath who doesn't view people like people at all, because he's fucking ragging and raping his whole damn family. He's gonna look down through everyone. He's gonna play you all like a dollhouse, like a dollhouse, like a dollhouse. These are the people that make Western medication, make psychology books. They make all this stuff. Like, these are the ones who work it up to the way that they make laws and they write laws. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anything written, anything made with sound, like, okay, I'll use the Bible just because energetically it's actually gonna be physically easier for me to say. The thoughts and prayers do exist as a good thing, and I'm very grateful for everyone's like Christian opinion of like, basically, honestly, like down to my soul, I know for a fact. I'm gonna go ahead and say fact. There's just swarms and hordes of Christians who are alone in their head. We're just being good people. They're just being good, honest fucking people who could get just fucking slaughtered and massacred in this country for being good people right now. Because of all the problems all the psychopaths have created with fourth dimensional space-time travel, and just who's gonna do it? Who made it? Who's the guy? Oh my god, who's the guy? Who is it? Who is the guy? It's the guy, it's the guy, who's my guy? Who's the guy? Who's the guy? It's the guy, who's the one? Oh my god, it's the guy, it's Trump. So honestly, the Trump family could like honestly die in America if you all start understanding that if you go to the hospital to talk about channeling dead, and the guy pays to channel the dead, the hospital say don't channel the dead, and we all just sit here and look at each other, and we talk to this pine cone hat and look at a woke page vegan. You're gonna look at me like, oh, you're an angel who saved society, resurrected. Oh my god, I had no idea what was going on, honey. It's my Sicilian ancestors coming up out of my taint right now. That's my Sicilian. Just feed this to the government. Oh, honey. Oh, white trash. Trash. Oh, sure. And they all just call my dad trash, and we're back to politics, and everyone's just, karma doesn't exist, and it's just whatever sound is near you that you can eat with your face, and whatever the football stadium of California is just staring into itself through time is. I think I like scared California with the focus on accident. You can actually like, you can use a full body to like instruct. You can do a whole like beat dance of like squats and have a full-blown conversation of like screeching like George Miller in subtitles like the band Interpol in this day and age. This is my reality, for the record. All you bands that are just kind of like, Carmella, you're not the one I've been fucking in the back of your throat for the end of time. Like, Interpol lives in the back of my throat, and they creep up my spine and go, Ella, they're like in my like, they like tickle my cerebellum. And I can like sometimes like look down at them as the whole world like sheerly crushes me until I'm like back here, and they look up at me and they go, Ella, and they just do cocaine for 20 years and jack off. Like the New York Hello, it's do cocaine. I don't care that you guys quit cocaine. Like, that band is just like, she's so young, 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 she's so young. Interpol, haha, low-key humor and camaraderie and friendship and whatever. Like, you owe me mesothelioma, you or a loved one has been diagnosed with, I listened to the wrong band, I watched the wrong TV program. Now I have like depression that fights me about dark web hits. So any depressants are actually marketed as see what people do. The people didn't want me to get to that idea. That's like third phase of Japan, just going like, honey, shh, go to bed. Like, you doing cyclically through time, any thought of any desire of continuation is going to go out in a circle and be met with karma, and it's going to come back. And the force of karma for me personally is like basically a wall of like internet humor that's illegal in Europe, because I'm personally born on the 13th as a schizophrenic with an incredibly high IQ, and I basically redefine, I clearly have one of the most popular theories of evolution of all time, because I'm going to teach humanity how to continue to evolve instead of sit here in the schools, and we'll just never let religion get in the schools for some reason, just never teach anyone all religions at the same time in the school, because who knows? Every time I get to the concept of saving everyone's lives from the mental health crisis of all these pedophiles ragging and raping just hordes and hordes. I think of all the girls that come into slumber parties just for one. Also, men get raped for two. Pedophilia could lie on Disney. Like, men don't have a pussy energetically. Like, I bleed. I like cry. And when I masturbate, men are like running up and down my body. Like a girl that can't even is like her sacral chakra up here. It's like you've been raped too much and you can't ground to reality. This is the astral plane. I think physically this is a good old. I think you can Google that one. I don't give a shit. You can stare at my belly if you want. Everyone confuses shit out of me. That one's like grounded in reality. That one's grounded in like, people can show up and like live in that one and just spin your chakra right there and then kind of be the rest of your brain. That's telling someone the world revolves around you. Just for basic English language. I'm not joking. Everyone is crushing my IQ so sharply that I swear I don't know what this half of my brain does, but I hate it because everyone will just breathe into it as a psychopath, and these subconscious will always define them as a psychopath or sociopath at any point in time, and they all know it, and they'll look at me at some point in time. If anyone notices ever in their life, they'll just keep doing this, and it's always my fault. And this is what a witch trial is, and that's what the imbalance in Cynthia Tourette's, the Tourette lady's face is. Everyone jumping into, like, look at that meme of like the people meditating and how you like stop this right here and you have to calm your brain. That's the influx of just the spiral of the earth coming at you in any direction. You're sorting it appropriately. Any direction. It's just, it's coming in. This is the brain. It's the logic and art or something needs to be balanced, and humanity is not there yet. So that's a collective, like, our brain scans collectively are going to start changing. I'm not going to lie to you, as a schizophrenic, I've actually gotten, like, shouting matches physically shouting matches over Google having a dream computer analyzing people's dreams and how they interact with the collective without telling anybody about basically the collective. And now everyone's going to say, I didn't understand Carl Jung's collective unconscious. I didn't understand we were touching. I don't understand universal oneness. I don't care. Everyone's going to PC me to death because I'm the one schizophrenic to, like, save the day. I'm the Rick and Morty, because my name is literally Nicolette, for one. Rick and Morty. You guys need, none of you understand how much, like, people could just come and hit me just to, like, fight over how my poor family's going to put me in a graveyard somewhere because they don't care, and then they'll eat my body in the dark web. I'm not even joking. None of you understand that at all. There's so many things in Hollywood I've inspired through dreams and shamanism that none of you are awake enough to even remotely comprehend, that all of you need to physically save me from. Now, the calling of a schizophrenic for their disciples to be saved is the 13. That's basically Jesus going, bro, you betrayed me, and telling everyone and just dying. He's so I was just born dying basically in front of a bunch of psychopaths and sociopaths in this country that made the painting in the airport where my leopard familiar, I've had a leopard reprint room where I've had, like, seizures from all of the, I've had flu shots, I've had the HPV vaccine, gave me a very severe seizure in high school. I, like, lay down and just have seizures in this room, I've been raped in this room. I have just constant flashes of astral memory of just leopard print walls. So it's very obvious that I've channeled, like, leopard after leopard from, like, having, like, leopard calendars too, because it was one of my favorite animals when I was a kid. It's very, very, very obvious that I identify as a leopard astrally. I don't, actually. That's just a familiar of mine. Now, a familiar is an animal that will walk alongside you like any Disney princess with a creature. And I'll tell you, with MK Ultra programming, they're going to try to, like, take their head above you and shove you into an animal so they can kill it with their mind faster and fuck you. And that's what, like, my abusers have put me in a vor for. Now, one of the biggest problems right now is if the United States starts to wake up to, like, what Rick and Morty is all screaming about, like, there's a gunfight, how we tell who's real. Because if you watch some anime, you can take your pineal gland and your higher self is going to be floating around somewhere else. Someone else can start taking their higher self and mandating like a puppet. People take schools of people look down on you and just forcefully take your brain and shove you into your heart and test your limits. And that's what, like, a death fight is through time. It's just forcefully people coming at you and pushing you into your heart, and then you have to fight back. That's life. That's literally life in any angle. I'm not even fucking joking. Like, any Buddhist can eat shit. You guys aren't allowed to eat seeds or do drugs because I saw that. That's the truth. Like, Japan's dying itself. Like, none of you even got that. You know, the Me Too movement is being banned in China. And I'm gonna say, at the end of the day, if it's all karma and the environment, you're environmentally friendly, it's karma and people, and you're gonna have some pussy, and you can't handle a pussy physically existing and complaining about being raped, like, talking wise. I'm gonna tell you, like, you can take rid of the internet, you can get rid of, like, communication, you can get rid of, like, all the books, all this stuff. This is like a warning I've always had for America, just because everyone in America looks out of this, and then we'll read like Lord of the Flies and forget it in 5 seconds with the fucking mold soda. I'm not even joking, but you can get rid of it. You can control all the media in your country. Regardless, there's gonna be will survive, and it's gonna go out into the universe, it's gonna meet the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is gonna come meet with, like, what the fuck are you doing to people? And there's going to be an energetic conflict of, like, money or war or something at some point. Like, this cannot continue physically, like, whatsoever. It's just going to be people. It's going to be veganism and sunlight, because it's always going to be sunlight translated as an energy into gravity through people and humanity and all this stuff going into it. There's going to be synchronicity with money. That's why I'm trying to get to a point where somebody can save my life and I can hide, because as a schizophrenic, to now wake everybody up out of this, all of the Christians that were hiding, every single psychopath that was like, Jesus died for our sins, is coming out on me. I know for a fact I'm the schizophrenic that wakes everybody up out of this. I'm going to put this on Twitter, smoke weed for like 5 hours, and forget this entire conversation, and we'll get back to my whole cyclical life of, like, you don't understand exactly how much your entire neighborhood has been stalking all of you astrally up your fucking brain, tickle your butthole, and they all have a death threat over you of, like, if you ever acknowledge them a pedophile publicly, I'll kill you, and karma will always go out and listen to all the crying dead babies that everyone's consuming in Hollywood and come back to Silicon Valley and say, bro, there's dead babies. And Silicon Valley on shrooms and weed is always going to go like, I can't live here with my DNA being violently unspiraled through space-time regardless of what astral conversation takes place. Because as you hear the dog, that's the guardian of the dead. We're sharing karma here because we're talking, honey. Like, don't worry about it. It's just Lightning McQueen, honey. Oh, it's just some dog. Oh, it's Bolt, baby. There's a bunch of people who had to kill me through space-time, regardless of why. I don't care. Leave. I don't think anyone understands. There's Tumblr witches who need to be who need to make it to enlightenment tags and psychonaut tags on Instagram, and veganism tags, and then woke truth page tags, And all of these tags and all of these memes, all these things that people are making, I have like thousands of these on my computer. I can make another website to just put more of them on, or like put more of them on my site right now. These are all legal in Europe because of quote unquote copyright. And quote unquote copyright is just whatever I can pay for and make, and then legally you can't touch. So that's why there's mind control and all these things. So now basically literally everyone in Hollywood is under threat, because if you talk about MK Ultra, Monarch programming, every single person's gonna become a paranoid schizophrenic and look around, and they're gonna notice all these pedophiles. Should this little bunny come out? This is one of the bunnies, I hope. Where'd you go, honey? Oh, there's a bunny. All these pedophiles are gonna notice. Thank you, honey. You're wonderful, sweetheart. I love you, baby. I gotta give that bunny some carrots. My parents got carrots. Everyone's gonna notice each other, and everyone's gonna start looking around, and everyone's gonna start thinking Me Too movement, and then it's gonna turn into bioweapon drugs through space-time. Oh, who's gonna invent the first portal gun? Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's your pappy raping you, looking down on everyone, and then jumping up their social circle, just socially smiling and smirking to see what's going on. And they're always going, "What's up, bro? I'm the most social thing here." Hey, and they're always going to be they're always going to be the center of attention. There's going to be a beautiful sunshine ray of beauty, the most romantic, elegant, gorgeous thing you've ever seen. Hello, Interpol, the band. Where's Interpol here? It's just the band, honey. Like, okay, baby. Okay, honey. Like, do you understand? This is a death threat now because I'm aware of this band or something. Like, I don't know what this is. They all like, here, let's go before I forget. I gotta smoke some weed, drop all these concepts, walk around and just rip all of this electrically. Let's go ahead and talk about the souls. I make it up to my bedroom physically. I got haunchy gamer posture from fights up my brain spine in my asshole, and I'm a recreational butthole surfer of all the gay men in all the conversion camps, because there's Christians who keep masturbating and telling me personally, to my face, that they're a good Christian and it's not their fetish to convert people, or it is, and they're bad people. And I'm like a neurotomanic, and I can't stop hugging gay people at all in bed. Like, I keep curling up all these fucking gay people just to become their gender, because I can scream, "I'm cis white, honey, and I'm here to assume your gender, girl." Ah! Now that screaming is an actual death threat, and that they're all angling my actual death, my crying out for like my actual life to be saved, to at any point in time, I'm an insane person from the psych ward, and they're the most socially beautiful thing known to mankind at any angle, and I need to be killed. Or I'm calling myself Jesus Christ, and it's a debate on good Christian morals in America over politics. Period. Now, I think I just caught one of those screams on camera for everybody, but I've been screeching in my neighborhood for a long time, and my parents can just take me to the fucking ward and put me on the Nazi shots. I'm not gonna lie to you, the ward can acknowledge that you are getting a heart condition from the shots, or that you are getting a fever from the shots, or that you're dying from the shots. I have very permanent damage from the shots. I have a heart condition from the shots. They gave me an EKG because my heart got all fucked up last time I was on the shots. And if you refuse to take your meds, you will be put again in the ward, and they will just keep putting you on shut here. No, see, is attack talking about the fucking shots. If you stay in the psych ward, you're allowed legally to just not take your meds. That's a very legal thing you can do. But if you stay, they're not gonna let you out, for one, and then they're going to eventually, the doctor's gonna get really pissed off and say, "Honey, this is a psychiatric facility. You don't know what you're doing. It's time to take your medication." And then they'll put you in court up against the doctor, and they legally are allowed to put you on meds. I've been on those meds before, where legally you had to. And I recognize the system. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here for like a month and go to court. I'm just gonna sign this contract. I like signed it over or whatever. For like 5 months I was on the shot, and it gave me very, very severe brain damage. All I did that year was like sit in my room and study psychic ability, because there was nothing else physically for me to do, while everyone kept like looking at me like, "Honey, I'm so excited for your in Vegas Sustainer, baby. Oh, he's in Vegas, honey." So this is my bedroom. It's very obvious. I have a fucking familiar of a fucking leopard. Like, it's the most obvious thing. Like, this is where I have seizures. This is where I'm like freaking out. This is where, none of this is like real. Like, I bought this on the internet. This country, like, none of you understand. If someone just notices that this country is a minefield of pedophiles, just all of a sudden Hollywood is just in your brain telling you that it's not, and then you have to all Google it. Like, does anyone notice everyone's dead? You notice the dead kids? You notice how this entire country is a shooting like every 5 seconds? Like, does anyone talk about the insanity crisis? Like, no, actually, it's politics. It's politics. California went from like, what did they do? What was it? They're taxing, no, they got rid of straws, which was like environmental hero. Like, thank you, California, as they make me like forcefully flip them off because I'm about to say. Then you immediately went to taxing text messages, which is communication for one. You went to communication money, and that was the most like, just let them eat cake or something. like ever. And everyone's just like, if I get offended by California attitude, everyone says, ugh. Like, what if you were texting somebody a water gun emoji of like a death threat, literally a school shooting, and it was a water gun emoji, and like that tax, the tax, like you didn't have the money to pay for it or something. Come on, what if you're taxing people who are calling out for? What if people are texting their friends, I'm going to get killed or something? You know, there's a kit gang going around my neighborhood with you. You hear the crows? That's a murder. All right, California doesn't look like it has a good moral compass to me. I don't think California is a good moral compass of being ahead of the curve. Because if you notice, California as a little widget in the United States, people who are just like, oh, it's California hunt, it's a Hollywood hunt, they live in California. And you're going to start noticing the world ain't fucking flat if you notice karma on like weed at all. And I need everyone to shut the fuck up at my uncovered mattress in my dumpy ass room. None of you understand how hard it is to function as like Corey as like Einstein's son, okay? And Sleepy Cabin are some of the only people, it was a murder on the world, on the planet Earth, who physically understand exactly how much I'm crying and begging and screaming for life. And I'm dying. And I'm not dying for your sins. And then here's Zach Hill at 10. Can you all tell that was Zach Hiddell greeting me astrally? Because ever since I was a kid, every single one of my encounters with Nicholas Tesla and any other psychic like Baba Vanga, who said a French girl would inherit her gift and my name is French. My first two names are fucking French. I'm being stalked by so many governments. Being born on the 13th and just being in this country, I need refugee status from like white people. I don't know what that means. So when I tell you, Elon Musk, you were like probably raped by a shitload of shamans as a child, endorsed by your family to tell you, dictated daddy-wise, where your brain should go with your money, and it turned you into a sociopath very clearly through selling flamethrowers and alcohol to the general public and then telling everyone not to. You know, regardless, honey, baby doll, there's like 10,000 shamans beating up the back of my pineal gland, staring into me on so many drugs, and just like brute male force and like angry dick like my dad, like generally like my rapist father, just big old like angry face, like I'm just angry enough. That's it. It's just their IQ and just maybe my dick will be enough, honey. With all my butt rape friends, like the forces of the Great Spirit are becoming stronger than ever, with humanity evolving, humanity getting more weed, and humanity becoming more peaceful in general, and just more people in general existing and balancing karma and all these forces being built. Everyone knows what the fuck I'm talking about, because so many people thought that they could play God by like, I forgot why I'm in my bedroom, I don't care. I don't want to talk about playing God, I'm gonna smoke weed. You can all eat shit. You should. Hello, Rick and Morty. Let's talk about that episode with the gun. How do you tell someone he's real? Let's watch Naruto, and let's watch Bloodbending, and then let's look astrally into the void as someone threatens death, and we all just smile into California forever. And then you all continually change me into Summer's voice actor as the Summer physically kills me as a ring of hell, depth-wise, into the planet. And we all have to dance in this here, and we say, are Summer's friends real? Probably not. Honestly, like, none of you people care about me at all. Like, I thank the government all the time with this vivid hallucination on this Huon. I'm like, thank you for my government money for this fucking Huon. It's like the only thing saving my life right now is my eugenics build. Like, legitimately, I've made it like eugenics build an accident. I really shouldn't. I should have like a Linux or something. I gotta go get high. This is too funny. Haha, I'm just dying of anorexia! If I mention my death, it's gonna be flipped as a puppet sexually to someone else of me. Oh, it's the girl from the war threatening, or it's an un-PC witch trying to do witchcraft, jumping into somebody else being the puppet. That's America, James Cameron. So I'm gonna talk. You look up like Carl Jung saying that like words are the entrance to the subconscious. Every single person who I gotta make another video. Okay, I'll make another video. You want these shit?